Hi, Alex. Thanks for your patience. Important data that we had to discuss for a minute or so. Welcome back.
Completely understandable, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you, Alex. Great to have you back.
Yeah, I know there's important numbers for you guys, so it's all cool.
Yeah, we're leveraged at 20 million to 1 on our position. So anyway, very nice to have you back, Alex. You want to share your screen? And
yeah, I'll get
I'm really looking forward to seeing what's on your radar. Since we talked about 3-4 months ago, it's that little green box, share screen.
Okay, you guys see SDRC? See this?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
And while we're waiting for Alex to share his screen, and here it comes. Alex, for you guys that weren't here last time, when Alex was here, he has one of the most remarkable stories of someone breaking into the business and making it work, having, really no other options to make money to invest. He joined the military, took the most dangerous part of the service he could because that paid the most, poured all his money into OTC issues that came home for him when he came home, and now has a great career as an investor and guiding other people, and really a remarkable story. Should give all of you hope out there. So, okay, continuation move that you're looking for, Sydney Resources. What do they do?
So last time I was here, Sydney Resources continues to be, I guess, my main focus in the OTC land. Just because I think they're a very good image for legitimacy. Okay. Like the OTC, it struggles a lot with legitimacy.
Yes.
And you know what I mean by that? 99% of them are scams, right?
Yeah. And it's like a lot of these CEOs just start a company so they could have their own Federal Reserve, which is their shares, is their currency, right? Okay.
They print shares to themselves and they hit the open market with them in various ways. A lot of them shady. But I've liked this one, right? Because this one has always, I guess in my book, done it all right since I invested. The last time I was here with you guys was back in February. So it would have been right in this like 3 to 4 range.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we've pushed up near, all the way up to almost 9 cents. There's a lot of positive things going on with Sydney. They have a really, really historic thing going on with Lucky Ben, okay, in Warren, Idaho, okay. And so in this particular mine that they have called Lucky Ben, it had been blocked since the 1920s, okay.
Why?
And
government?
It would have been back when Roosevelt was blocking all the tunnels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And what was happening is this was a severe block in a very hard to access area. If you're familiar with Warren, very, very difficult access for a mining area. It's all mountain, like it's just straight up mountain, and it's very hard access. So a lot of people made fun of Sydney, saying they would never get in there. As an OTC company, it would just never happen. They would never get the money or the follow through to make it happen.
Last laugh is on them. Still with me? Alex, think we lost him?
Yeah, I think we lost him too, Dale.
Yeah. Okay, so you could hear me, so it's him.
Yeah, it's him. I can hear you just fine.
Okay, so I'll wait a minute or two, Blake, see if he logs back in. I'll send him a message on Twitter. And anyway, did you hear his story, Blake?
I remember it from last time. I think he's kind of a younger guy, and
he was working, as a waiter. He didn't come from any kind of wealth, and he wasn't making enough money to invest, and he wanted to invest, so he joined, I think it was the Marines, and took the most dangerous assignment possible to get paid the most for doing it. I think it was in prison guards or something like that. He wanted to be like on the bomb squad, but all the money he made when he was in Iraq, he invested in these OTC stocks, and they all worked for him. And while he was overseas, he came back and he had a new life.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, I mean, but that's someone really going all the way to have investment capital to work with, that you'll lay your life on the line for it. So
Yeah,
that's
and
desire.
combat duty pays. I'll tell you, it
Yeah.
pays like triple. Now, that doesn't mean you if you go in as, because I had it for a few months when deployed in Africa. It's like, and I'm like, man, I could have used that for, like, if I would have done that for a year, it would have been great.
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, hey, no
That's
problem.
okay, buddy.
My internet just, it's, I don't know, went out.
Okay, well, you're back. So all you have to do is reshare and talk about. And I was telling Blake was a Marine. I told him your story. Also, you know what? When you're looking at these OTC issues, I worry about it when I do certain ETFs. Do you worry about them doing reverse splits on you, Alex, when you're in these?
Many times. So, that's a big thing in OTC, definitely. Anything that is running, like what I mean is like having a long-term uptrend like you see here. You have to watch debt and you have to watch share structure, right? Because if there is some sort of motivation there or reason for them to RS, it's likely going to happen. So research is really important. Like, you have to understand what kind of debt these things carry, what kind of convertibles these things carry, who has shares, and what that share structure is exactly like, almost on a daily basis. It's not like big boards where you can just kind of let that shit fly. You actually have to pay attention to the share structure every day.
You have to be kind of a CIA agent to be in front of these guys, because they do announce reverse splits, but it's too late to act after that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're toast.
It's already in the price. Okay.
Yeah, and usually when an RS hits an OTC, next day it's down like 60-70%.
Yeah,
to give you an idea.
Okay, so dilution is one of the major things you have to worry about when you go into these kind of issues. Have they done any? I'm looking at this chart, and it goes back to last year or the year before, and there weren't any reverse splits from what I could tell from the chart. Were there?
No, SDRC. So I've been with SDRC Sydney. I've been invested since August of 2019. Okay, and no like reverse splits. There have been some very, very small increases in the public float. I think when I got here, there was probably about an 80 million public float. We're up to 101 million public float now after about 2 years. But what's good about that is it's all been used, like I said, to get that tunnel clear, to get the contractors. Basically, none of it's going into management's pockets at all. These guys have never taken a paycheck the whole time they've been here.
So it almost takes like the kind of gumshoe analysis that a lot of people used to do. They go and meet management before they bring their investors. Really kind of like on the ground intelligence. You really have to stay on top of it, because most of us, Alex, are we'll look at a chart, and if it's a nice formation, we'll go with it. Not knowing what lurks behind the candle. Yeah,
definitely. That's a big issue in the OTC. A lot of new traders just get destroyed in a matter of weeks. Because a lot of times they're looking for in the OTC that get rich quick thing. And I always tell people it's not the way to do it in the OTC. Yeah, I know there's a lot of big fast movers out there on a daily basis, but that's how you lose it all really fast. I find quality, at least that's what I try to do. I try to find the best quality that exists out there in the market, the ones that I believe have a legitimate shot of going QB, which is their form of uplisting, and then eventually going to hopefully NASDAQ. That's what I look for, is, you know, that legitimacy. And these guys really have it. What I've been focusing on more than anything is just mining in general. This is one of many. You know, another one you guys might find more interesting is VINs too, because of their connection with Hecla.
Okay, is it silver?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice chart.
So this is Vindicator Silver Lead Mining Company. Okay.
What was that big volume spike? Earnings?
OTC updates starting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So that big spike was them updating OTC markets for the first time in 17 years. Okay.
Wow.
This is a very historic silver miner revival. Okay. They're about a mile walk from Lucky Friday of Hecla. Okay. To give you an idea.
Okay. All right.
And
wow, you know all the names of the mines and everything. All right.
Oh yeah. I will actually be up in Idaho in August doing on ground research, a Lucky Ben, and a lot of these mines, just to make sure my DD is as solid as I think it is.
Yeah.
I do so much research, man, hours and hours and hours. It would blow your mind.
No, it wouldn't really, because, you know, most people I know that are successful are very hardworking people. And, you know, you can't, you know, some people think all you do is click a button, but really it takes a lot of, you have to weigh so many different factors, especially when you're in the wild, wild west like you are. And I think people are going to learn that lesson in altcoins too, don't you think, eventually? I mean, what do you think about this? I mean, you're a speculator. I mean, you go to the upper end of the pyramid in equities by buying OTC stocks. What do you think about what's happening in crypto and the alt space? Do you follow it at all, Alex?
So, yeah, of course. You know, it's not my expertise, but what I will say about crypto in general is I have been around for a lot of the biggest hypes recently, like with EV and with especially marijuana stocks, right? I saw it with MJ. I think MJ is very comparable to BTC in a way with stocks anyways.
Okay.
And all I will say is what eventually happens is regulation. Like those stocks, the marijuana stocks that I made my money on back in the day, and that went on the most historic runs, made many millennials millionaires. And everybody thought it was going to be the greatest thing for years to come. Eventually, somebody comes in and puts the boot down. And companies got suspended, companies got delisted, laws and regulations were made, CEOs were looked into, companies were looked into. And I just think that it's too good to be true. Somebody's going to step on it eventually, and a lot of stuff's going to change.
Okay, so for that arena, the marijuana stocks, who was the enforcer? The SEC that came in?
Big time.
Okay, so for Bitcoin, since they're not regulated yet, do you think it could be like Gensler? I think is pro crypto, the SEC chairman. But then you hear people like Yellen, who is not pro crypto, and it really is competition for currency that currently is under pressure. So why would the U.S. government continue to let this happen?
That's
you think that's a boot? You think that's a boot that's coming for crypto?
I think something's coming. Yeah, I think somebody big is going to put the boot down, because it always happens eventually. I've never not seen something like that happen on markets that are raging. They aren't just going to let it continue, you know, unregulated, and you know it's not going to happen. That's my bet. I think it's going to be ugly when it happens. You know, I think at the end of the day, the key is just be diversified, right? I always tell people I don't see anything wrong with owning crypto, because obviously there's money to be made, but just don't bet all your money on it.
Yeah. So I'm getting a question, Brock, is that a miner? Are you familiar with this, Alex? ABXXF?
No, it sounds like a Canadian thing.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't really touch the F stocks, at least in my arena.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you why I don't. And it's because a lot of them at this point have created a bad reputation for themselves in the OTC arena. They have been some of the worst toxic liars, debt converters, you name it, is the F stocks.
What does the F stand for?
What's that?
What's the F stand for? You're talking about the F stocks.
So that's just like when they're dual listed for Canada and the OTC markets, they get an F symbol after their ticker.
Okay. See how I learned from you? I'm learning a whole new arena I could get into trouble. Yeah, it's listed on the NEO and Toronto, and it's a technology company. Okay. So have you made this, you were talking about making this conversion to mainly, I mean, you're showing me a miner here.
Yeah.
So you're making this conversion to strictly mining being your bailiwick going forward, and no more of the marijuana stocks, etc. Right?
Yeah, I follow trends to a certain point. Back in 2011 to 2014 range, I made a lot of money on the marijuana space. That's what was hot. The last couple years, and I believe the next few years, I'll be very focused on gold, silver, metals miners in general. I believe that is where we should be heading these next few years. I believe that's where the big bets should be placed, is on gold, silver, and miners.
A very good friend of mine that I've known for eons. Okay, he's has his own BD, but he's very good in the mining sector. Mm-hmm. And he was talking to me about some smaller producing juniors. And that all of these many of these miners are ripe for takeovers. Does that go into your possible, due diligence for what would be a good takeover candidate by majors or bigger? Okay, so
you are looking at one right here, Dale. So VINs right now, they are an active lessor to Hecla. So they actually have power over Hecla on the mine that they own. And it's special because this is only a mile away from Lucky Friday, which is, Hecla's main silver producer in the area. So what we would expect is, why wouldn't Hecla in the very near term, with how strong their revenues are right now, what do miners do on the big boards when they bring in record revenues? They expand and they increase their reserves. That's what mining companies have to do. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will target companies just like this, VINs, who I know is reviving in the OTC with a very clean share structure, clean financials. They're very close to Hecla. If Hecla needs to expand to increase their reserves, they're expanding right into VIN's territory. So one of two things will happen. Do they keep paying VINs crazy lease fees? And, because right now I believe VINs is a 40% net profit on whatever Hecla pulls out. So do they keep paying VINs, or do they just buy them out? And in my opinion, a lot of times the smarter decision for Hecla would be just to buy VINs out.
What do you think the takeout number would be for them? I know you have one in mind, and we don't hold you to it, but if they were to be bought out by Hecla, would it be close to $1?
I believe it would be over that. A lot of these mines are usually bought out for anywhere 25 to 50 million sometimes. So, with VINs, I think their market cap right now is only in the 5 million range. This could get some range to it if they got bought out. But I think what is also more exciting about VINs is they're actually reviving on the OTC, which is why you're seeing that volume come in.
And what's revival on the OTC mean?
So
what's new about being revived. They were dead and now they're Lazarus and they're rising from the dead, like that.
Yeah,
Huh?
kind of actually, right?
All right.
So what it means is they've had no website up. They've turned in no
Okay.
financials, no filings. They've been literally a dead public company for 17 years.
Wow.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right. So as the higher prices of silver, what brought interest back into it? There been a change of ownership in the 17 years that they were in a coma?
Definitely silver, definitely Hecla, but with these in particular, Vins and the other ones the guy owns, this is the Manson family. Okay. And you can look up the Manson family when you get off the video with me. These are the sons of the famous Manson father. And the Manson father was a mining magnate in northern Idaho. He basically sold to Hecla what a lot of what they use now. So Lucky Friday and stuff originated from the Manson family. You can do some research on him. He was a huge landowner, mine owner up in northern Idaho, very famous family, very wealthy. And
kind of like the Cartwrights on Bonanza.
Yes.
All right.
The sons of that father have now decided to, I guess, carry on that legacy. Vins is one of the mines they are reviving.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I wrote that symbol down. So let me ask you this. I see the little dots at the bottom. Like right now it's trading, 5 cents? What's the spread on an issue like this? The bid offer, is it pretty wide?
So in something like Vindicator, it's very wide. I think yesterday we were looking at 51 cents was on the ask, and I believe it was 41 cents was on the bid.
Okay.
To give you an idea. So it's like a 10-cent spread.
Right.
For the people that are, I guess, just jumping into OTC, I would tell them, maybe stick to something it's a little bit easier to understand, like an SDRC, because it's a little bit larger of a float, a little bit tighter, a little bit more liquid, a little bit easier to understand. For someone who would be just jumping into the OTC, Vins, with how low that float is, it can get scary. It can trick people. It can be confusing for the new trader.
Okay.
But I said, this is a special one too. They're going into production this year. Sydney Resources is, for the first time ever. You can check out their financials. They have no debt on the books. They've done it all right, guys. And it makes me so happy because, it's rare in my land to see this. Okay. Yeah. It makes me smile.
All right. Yeah. It's an ascending triangle. It has a nice objective up there. I really appreciate, Alex, you coming in here and sharing some of your picks, because I know you put, hours and hours and hours into being a detective to find these and then go through all the regulatory filings before you put your money in or would even talk about it to people that follow you. And really another great interview, and appreciate you giving us time. Are you doing anything where you'd like more followers or people to follow you on Twitter, or are you setting up a little community where people could go and hang out with you?
I guess right now, Dale, just keep an eye out. I think I mentioned to you last time, at the end of this year, might even be a little bit sooner, I'll be taking some companies public myself.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people have been waiting for me to do it. And I'm going towards the mining and exploration route myself. I'll be working on taking companies public and getting some mines into production myself.
Wow, that's really cool. You know what? Anyone that did what you did, and it wasn't just a flash in the pan because you didn't make a score when you're overseas and piss it away, like a lot of people would, is really something that I think is admirable. And now you're stepping into a new arena full of barracudas, including regulators. And I admire your courage and tenacity, Alex. Thanks for
Thank you
being
very
with
much.
us today, buddy.
Thank you.
All
It's
right.
always fun being on here, and
Yeah, so
talking
we'll
OTC
we'll
with
do
you
a
guys.
lot. You know, I could be your IR guy. I'll give you visibility for your stuff. So,
Hell yeah, man.
all right,
I love
and
it.
you'll pay me in restricted and free trading, so I can just dilute the deal. So anyway, Alex, thanks so much. Good luck on what you're delving into, and appreciate you being with us here today. I'm a fan.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. It's always a lot of fun on here with you guys.
Okay, thank you, Alex. That's a wrap. Today's Wednesday, right, guys? So you could join the team in 17 minutes for Morning Edge, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. So good hunting the rest of the day, and don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow. Adios. See you, Amira. See you, Saze. And thanks again, Alex.
Thank you.